Kylie Smith, a senior psychological wellbeing practitioner and cognitive behavioural therapy for menopause from NHS TALKWORKS in Barnstaple.
That's quite a mouthful, isn't it? Psychological wellbeing practitioner. We call ourselves PWPs. So let me talk to you a little bit about TALKWORKS. Some of you may have heard of us. Some of you may not have heard of us. So we're a NHS talking therapy service. We historically were known as a IAPT service, which was improving access to psychological therapies, but again, that's another mouthful. We offer, well, the service is a mixture of PWPs like myself, and then we also have what we call high-intensity therapists. And we offer 2 levels of therapy. We offer low-intensity therapy, which is guided self-help, and that's offered by the PWPs, and that tends to be sort of 4 to 6 weeks of treatment. And then the HI therapists, they will offer longer-term therapy, which is a bit more intense, so it tends to be more in the sessions therapy rather than that kind of guided self-help. The form of therapy that we offer is cognitive behavioural therapy, or CBT for short. Now, I'm not sure if people have heard of CBT before, if people have any knowledge around what CBT is, but the way that I can introduce it to you is we use the analogy of if you're out in the sea and your boat tips over and you fall out of your boat, what's the first thing that you're going to do? Most people are going to start to work out, how do I get back to shore? So it's very much about, let's not worry about how I fell out the boat, let's worry about what I need to do to move on. And that's kind of a way to describe cognitive behavioural therapy. It's very much a doing, let's make changes moving forward to improve our quality of life. And with CBT, it focuses on how we think and what we do. So it can fall into a cycle, so we kind of talk about a vicious cycle. And that can be, we experience physical symptoms. So I can give myself as an example. Obviously, I've been sat here waiting to speak to you, and I've been experiencing symptoms of anxiety. So I've been feeling my mouth has become dry, I know that I'm a little bit shaky, and then I'm also experiencing cognition, so thoughts. I'm thinking, what am I going to say? Oh, that person said something that was funny, do I need to be funny? Am I going to make a fool of myself? Okay, and then the behaviour could have been, I just leg it out the door and don't do it. Or I stand here and I present, and as I stand here and I present, those symptoms of anxiety start to calm down and dissipate, and they will still be there when I sit down, but by the end of the session, I'll be back to myself, okay? So when we introduce this, like I say, whether we support people to make changes to behaviour, or we support people to look at how they're thinking and find new ways to think, people can start to feel better. TALKWORKS works predominantly with people that experience mild to moderate mental health difficulties, so that will be low mood, depression, anxiety disorders such as generalised anxiety, specific phobias, OCD, post-traumatic stress disorder. And as I said, we offer this support either at low intensity or at high intensity. And we also offer sort of counselling for depression. We offer support to people who are experiencing prolonged grief. So there's been some changes to the service. And a few years ago, we introduced a 6-week course for women who are perimenopausal or menopausal. And this looks at managing symptoms of low mood, managing symptoms of anxiety, and it works in tandem with prescription. So if you choose to take HRT, CBT and HRT work very well together. It's not a case of, if I go to my GP, they're going to tell me I need to do CBT and I can't have HRT. That's not the case. You can do both and they work well together, similar to antidepressants. So if you're taking antidepressants for low mood depression, engaging in CBT together with that is going to give you sort of optimal results. So like I said, we offer a 6-week menopause course, and this course is open to women, obviously. You don't need to be in the service, if that makes sense. So TalkWorks is a self-referral service. So what that means is you can literally pick up the phone and arrange an appointment. If you're specific and you say, oh, I've heard about a menopause course, then you will be encouraged to book onto one of those courses. We would call this a direct access course, and what that means is you don't need to have an assessment with somebody like myself. You can just come into the session, attend for 6 weeks, and hopefully find it helpful. We don't run the sessions in person, they are run via Microsoft Teams, which is actually helpful for access, because sometimes it's difficult for people who live a bit more remotely in Devon to come into a building and access that course. And also I'm aware that some women are a little bit nervous, a little bit shy. It can feel quite lonely, and I think that's been raised already for women who are perimenopausal or menopausal. And so the feedback that we've had is that it's felt really welcoming and normalising for women. And now my brain fog is going to kick in. If you feel that maybe low mood or anxiety has been something you've kind of struggled with for a while, you may notice that when you start to experience symptoms of perimenopause, menopause, that those symptoms become exacerbated. Or you might recognise that actually all of a sudden I've become a real worrier. I never worried about anything before, and now I find myself worrying about the smallest things. Then you can access TalkWorks for that specific intervention. So you can do both as well. So if you decide, oh, I am a bit of a worrier and I want to do some work around that, but I'm really interested in that menopause course, then you can come in, and when you speak to the therapist, you can say, I want to work on this, but I'm also interested in that, and you can do both, sort of one after the other. We also offer other workshops, so we do a one-off sleep workshop, and again, this is a direct access, so you don't need to be assessed by the service. You can come in, we're based around the corner on Balport Street, you can walk in, I want to attend a sleep workshop, and again, those are delivered via Microsoft Teams, just to kind of help with access. And that will, again, look at those CBT techniques to help with sleep, and as we're aware, women who are perimenopause, menopausal, may have sleep difficulties that kind of start to manifest that weren't there before. So like I said, we're based in Balport Street. We also have an office in Bideford, and then we work out of GP surgeries as well, and we're also based up out of West Pilton, which is the building just by the hospital. Like I said, you can come in and have face-to-face appointments. We offer remote appointments, so you can have video call with somebody if you prefer that, or if you'd rather just do a telephone appointment, that's absolutely fine as well. So I feel like I've gone through a lot of information. I've probably missed loads of information, but if you do have any questions, I'm happy to answer them at the end. Yeah. So yeah, there you go. It's a brief introduction to TalkWorks.
Thank you to Kylie, and again,